Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I'm Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. Ruling coalition holding its meeting today afternoon. Vote of confidence and formation of provincial governments on agenda. Labour permits being issued from Janakpur and Biratnagar starting today. Preparations on to issue permits from Surkhet and Dhangadi as well. Zelensky says Russian military continues to strike Ukrainian positions despite their declared ceasefire, also denounces the 36-hour truce as a ploy. And playoff matches on the Nepal T20 League beginning from today. League leaders Lumini to face second-place Janakpur Royals in first. Welcome back. You are with NTV English News Bulletin. Now we have the news in details. Ruling coalition partners are holding a meeting today afternoon. The ruling alliance will discuss issues including a vote of confidence, formation of provincial governments and the power sharing in the provinces. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is slated to seek vote of confidence in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. On Saturday, a task force formed to draft the common minimum program submitted the report to the top party leaders. Earlier, Prime Minister Dahal also appealed all parties to lend support to his government in its bid to gain vote of confidence in the parliament. Is forming a team to initiate unity among the left parties. NSP leader Ganganarayan Shrestha said that a meeting of the party's political committee will form a negotiation team today. Head of the party's publicity department, Vishwadip Pandey, said that the issue of socialism, strengthening the party's organization, issues of various level conferences of the party, review of elections, current political issues, upcoming strategies and other agendas will be discussed in the political meeting today. Earlier yesterday, Bhattarai met with Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal on the issue of the party unity. Janata Samajwadi Party, JSP Nepal, is to lend support to the government in its bid to gain a vote of confidence. JSP said it has agreed to lend support to the government since the draft of the minimum common program the government. According to party spokesperson Manish Chuman, JSP would formally decide the agenda of giving vote of confidence to the government today. Meanwhile, Lokatantrik Samajwadi Party is holding its Central Executive Committee meet today to decide on lending vote of confidence to Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal-led government. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back. Now to more updates. The Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security is to issue the institutional and individual labour permit from the 7 provinces starting today. Before this, the ministry had been providing the labour permits only from Kathmandu. The employment office at Biratnagar and Janakpur had only been renewing the labour permit. Renewal of labour permit and issuance of individual labour permit has been started from the Labour and Employment Office at Kailali and Surkhet as well. The Foreign Employment Office at Pokhara and Butwal have been providing and their renewal. Now to international updates. Ukrainian President Zelensky said the Russian military is continuing to strike the Ukrainian positions despite the declared ceasefire. Ukrainian officials denounced the unilateral 36-hour pause as a ploy and said it appeared to have been ignored by some of Moscow's forces pressing ahead with a nearly 11-month invasion. Russia's defense ministry insisted that its forces along the 1,100-kilometer front line were observing the Kremlin ordered truce but returned fire when attacked. Zelensky also talked about sanctions list prepared by the National Security Council and Defense Council against everyone whose voice sounds in unison with the roar of Russian artillery. Authorities say a temple collapsed and cracks appeared in over 600 houses because of sinking of land. Residents of Joshimath town in Uttarakhand state say they started noticing cracks in houses, especially after the 2021 floods in the region. Tens of thousands of devotees heading for Badrinath and Himkunda Sahib, key Hindu and Sikh pilgrimage sites, passed through Joshimath. The huge flow of pilgrims and tourists saw the town expanding exponentially over the years with massive construction of buildings and roadways, which some experts have linked to the land subsidence. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, time to go for a short break. Welcome back. Now to more updates. Hundreds marched through the streets of El Paso on Saturday, and when they arrived at a group of migrants huddling outside a church, they sang to them, "The good ones outnumber the bad ones." Around 300 migrants have taken refuge on sidewalks outside the Sacred Heart Church, with some afraid to seek more formal centers amid new restrictions meant to crack down on illegal border crossings. This is the scene that will greet U.S. President Joe Biden on his first politically thorny visit to the southern border on Sunday. The president announced last week that Cubans, Nicaraguans, Haitians, and Venezuelans will be expelled to Mexico if they enter U.S. illegally, an expansion over pandemic-era immigration policy Title 42. The new rules will also include offering online and find a financial sponsor. Tens of thousands of Filipino Catholics participated in the first Walk of Faith on Sunday in Manila on the eve of annual Feast of the Black Nazarene. This year, the celebration marks the first time since the start of the pandemic that there were physical activities during the Feast of the Black Nazarene. The annual procession is typically one of Asia's biggest religious events, which attracts millions of devotees. The Black Nazarene, a life-size statue crowned with thrones and bearing a cross, is believed to have been brought from Mexico to Manila on a galleon in 1606 by Spanish missionaries. The ship that carried it caught fire, but the charred statue survived. Some believe the statue's endurance from fires and earthquakes through the centuries and intense bombings during the More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have what we have coming up next. Now to sports. Kathmandu Knights has become the fourth team to enter the playoffs of the country's first edition of the T20 Cricket League tournament, Nepal T20 League. Kathmandu secured its berth after finishing fourth in the points table after Pokhara Avengers defeated Far West United by 41 runs in the match played on Saturday. Pokhara and Far West have already been eliminated from the tournament after they failed to finish in top four playoffs. Meanwhile, top-placed Lumini All-Stars is slated to face second-placed Janakpur Royals in match slated to kick off at 12:30 p.m. today. The winner of today's match will secure a berth in the final. Nepal's ambassador to Spain, Sarmila Parazuri Dhakal, handed over the statue of Gautama Buddha to the representatives of the Spanish club Polideportivo Sasareno. The statue was handed over to Sasareno team members as a token of love by President Bidyadevi Bhandari during the team's Nepal visit last month. It was handed off during the match held at Felipe Stadium during its match with Real Madrid in Copa del Rey. The Spanish fourth-tier Sasareno club played friendlies against Gandaki 11 at Pokhara Stadium on December the 28th, and Kathmandu went on to win both the friendly matches. Well, with this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin, but before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. Ruling coalition holding its meeting today afternoon, vote of confidence and formation of provincial governments on agenda. Labour permits being issued from Janakpur and Biratnagar starting today. Preparations on to issue permits from Surkhet and Dhangadi as well. Zelensky says Russian military continues to strike Ukrainian positions despite the declared ceasefire, also denounces the 36-hour truce as a ploy. And playoff matches under Nepal T20 League beginning from today. League leaders Lumini to face second place. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. We'll see you again with next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us. Namaste.